Hello everyone, I am Usnik Biswas. This is my data structure lab experiment number 5. In this video, I'll be talking about single linked list and I'll show various functions about on it. So here are few. Here I've made a structure called node with two member functions, membered data types, int data and node starlink. Starlink is a pointer data type, and I've used here two structure objects, star rear and star head. And star head in star head I've stored null by default, and here I've taken a temp node, and I'll be going directly to main and I'll be explaining all the uh, functions when the turn comes. So here I've taken an integer r and stored 1 there, and used a while loop to see whether r is equal to 1 or 1 is greater than equal to 1 or less than equal to 6. After that, I've used a menu driven system and asked the user for various things like to give an input which will tell 1 to insert, 2 to delete, 3 to display the link, 4 to search in linked list, and 5 to insert in between, 6 to insert at last, 7 to exit. So after that, I have stored that input inside the variable r, and I've used a switch case with variable r. If the user gives 1, will go to this function in front. So we'll go to that function in front. Uh, in front, this function will be executed when that function is called. And here I have created a new node called new node, and ask the user for a number. And in this function, we'll add inside the linked list the first, like from the first it will be added. So I've asked the user to enter a number and stored that number inside that data number inside the new node which we just created. And after that, we'll store the link, no new node dot link arrow link equals null. If head is equals null, if nothing is there inside the new node, directly it will be stored inside. The head will point towards new node, that will be the first new node, and we'll close it using return, close the function. And if it's not the first, if head is not equal to null, then this part will execute new node arrow link equals head. So the new node will point towards head, so now the new node will become head, and the new node's head data and everything will be stored inside the head. So new node will become the new head. And we'll go again to the main function, and here the second thing is to delete from front. So if the user press 2, will this function will get executed. So we'll go to that function, pop pop pop. Where is it? When that function is pop function is called, it will come here. And after that, again new node temp is created and previous is created. If head is equal to null, see out the linked list is empty. It will basically check here if the linked list is empty or not, and if it's empty, we can't pop up obviously, so we'll not use this. Will the function will just exit. And if it's not null, then another thing it can happen is that head arrow link equals null. So there is only one, in this case there is only one function, one data inside the whole linked list. So in this case, we'll delete the data. This is the only thing which is there inside the linked list, that is the head. So we'll store head equals null. And if this both ifs are not true, then this part will else part will get executed, which is more than one value is there inside the linked list. And here while loop is used, temp arrow link equals not null, then previous equals temp. So the temp will be stored in the previous, and the temps link uh, and the previous link will get inside the temp, and temp will become the new node. And sorry, it will not become the new node. The last link will be stored inside the temp and it will get deleted. So the deleted element will be temp arrow data. We'll just show what the values get deleted here, and we delete that link which is not required anymore. And after that, with return, we'll close the function. Now the third so if the user press 3, we'll display the linked list. So we'll go to the display function. Where is it? Here it's simple. If head is equals null, if there is one only, if there is nothing inside the linked list, we'll just print that linked list, the list is empty. And if it's not, we'll store each, like we'll print out each individual linked list and its linked list data and its link, separated by these small divisions which will tell which is the link and which is the data. And yeah, and after displaying at the last, it will show null. I will use this command to do that. With you see out at last for doing that. Then if the user presses 4, it will go for searching. It will search a specific number or data, whatever it is, inside the linked list. So we'll go to the search function now, srch, and here I've taken few integer values, integer variables, names value, and position equals 0 and initialize this 0. We've used a boolean flag equal and initialize this as false, and if head is equals null, again we are checking if the linked list is empty or not. If head is equals null, then obviously the linked list is empty, and we'll close this function. And if it's not, this part will get executed. Enter the value to be searched. That value which user enters, it will be stored inside the value. And here I've created another node variable star s, and s I've stored head, I've stored in s, while s not equal to null, position plus plus. If s, this is the searching algorithm. If the data which the user enters, we find the data inside the linked list, the flag will become true, cout element, and value will be printed, and it's in the position pos. I'll get the number of while loop. Then it will just say the position where it is, and if we don't get that value, I've used that flag. I've taken a flag, boolean variable flag. No, the boolean variable, if it's false, then this program will print out that element, that value which the user entered, is not found inside the list. After that, if the user enters 5, then this program will like ask, then the user wants to insert something in between. So in this, we'll go to this function, insert between. What is the function? Insert position. Okay. Insert position will go inside this function. Int value position. I've taken a few integer variables here. I've taken a few structure objects here, and now we have created a new node called start temp. We have asked the user to enter the data to interval which they want to enter, and store that data inside a node which is the temporary node's data, and we store that link equals null. This part is not so relevant, but anyway, cout we again ask the user enter the position at which inside the node it's to be entered. So that will be the position of the new node, the new data which we are entering. So we'll ask that value from the user and store inside pos, and this I've taken another variable in type here, and as I've stored the head value inside the structure S, structure like node S, and here I've checked that while S not equals null, this part will run. So S equal to S arrow link counter plus one, counter plus, it will check at what position will get that, uh, what position will check, will go up to the place where we'll get this position. So we'll, like, it will jump till then, and after that uh, we'll see out the counter the position of the that that value, and if position equal to 1, if head equal to null, head equal to temp, head arrow link equals null. If it's not, then ptr equal to head equal to temp, head arrow link equal to ptr. Here we are basically like inserting the data inside that particular position. If this part is not true, then this part will get this. Again we'll check if position greater than 1 and position less than equal to counter, then s head and head is stored in s. Again we use a loop here from I to position, and ptr equal to s equal to s arrow link will store the link inside the s, and ptr arrow link equals temp arrow link equal to s. We are storing the temp string inside ptr and ss link inside temp. And if the position user entered is invalid, or like more than number of elements there inside the linked list, then this part will get printed, position is out of range. And after that there is another function. If the user asked to insert at last, that is number 6, case 6, will go inside in last function. I guess that's the last function. Last in last this when that function is called, this part will get this part will run node star. We are creating a new node here. So you have to enter the number to insert in the end. We'll ask the user what they want to enter at the end. We'll store that value inside the new node's data, and we'll store the new node's link as null. We'll point the head towards temp. If head equals null, head equal to new node, return. Um, Here if it is checking that whether there is only one variable inside the linked list, and if it's not, this part will get executed while temp arrow link not equal to null. This part will run till the last, because only the last linked list will have its last list's last element will have link equals null. So it will jump till then and store the second last link inside the temp. So temp arrow link is new node, will store the new node inside temp and store the last as null. And after that I've there is we have to press 7 for exiting. So as I have already given here 1 to 6, if the value is beyond that, it will automatically break and this part won't get executed. So there's no need for this, and also this. So that's all. That's the whole program. I'll show you how it executes. My system is a bit slow, so delay. So I'll insert a few elements inside this linked list. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 77. Sorry. Oh, I entered few wrong variables. Sorry for this rush. It's too irritating. So I'll insert few values. So I'll see this display this linked list. So there will be 987654321 and 0, which will arrow towards null. Will delete one element uh, from the front. So the element deleted is 1. We'll again see this linked list. It is 987654322 and 0. So now we'll search any value inside the linked list. Let's search 5. So the 5 is found at position 5. That's how I entered. So I'll enter something in between the data to insert. I'll insert 5 back to its position 5. So we'll see the linked list. Yeah, there are two 5s now. Now we will insert something at last, that is a 10, and display. So yeah, 987654322 1 was deleted, so here 10 is inserted and 7 to exit. So this was my program. This program basically tells like helps us to know how linked list works and the logistics behind like all the functions which is used inside a linked list. So that's why we did this experiment, and that's all. Thank you for watching.